Hello, friends. The world in the last couple of years has undergone a challenge like none other, the challenge which is called COVID. However, in the last 1.5 years, we've also seen a dream run for equity markets. This period also witnessed the outperformance of the mid and small caps over the large caps. And remember, this came after almost 2 years of very narrow market movement, where we saw polarization in terms of the stocks that contributed to the up move. But in equity markets, as in life, there are always ups and downs. In the last 1 month, we have seen some degree of consolidation. In the month of November, the NSE Mid Cap Index was down by about 2.7%, the Small Cap Index by about 1%, and the Nifty itself was down by about 3.9%. Now, as we have been highlighting to you in our calls earlier, markets are determined by three key factors: corporate earnings and fundamentals, sentiment and liquidity, and finally, valuation. Now, in that context, when we look at Indian equity markets today, we need to view it in two time periods: the very near term and then the medium to long term. Let's talk about the long term first. What we have seen is that in over the last 10 to 15-year period, India's share of GDP in the world has risen. However, India's share in world market cap is still fairly at previous levels. Therefore, we believe that structurally, Indian equity markets remain well entrenched in an upcycle. And this has been driven by three key factors: a supportive policy environment, improvement in capex, and a likely new corporate profitability cycle. Firstly, in terms of a supportive government policy, we believe that the government has made a shift towards policy that really favors improvement of profit share in GDP. This started in 2019 when the corporate tax rate was cut, and therefore India's tax regime is now comparable with the rest of Asia. Since then, the government has taken sector specific steps, for example, in case of housing. They've also come out with steps like the production linked incentive scheme, national infrastructure pipeline, increased focus on infrastructure investments, etc. The second key factor is the profit cycle. We believe that on a structural basis, India has possibly entered a new profit cycle. India's profit cycle possibly bottomed out in FY20 in terms of corporate profit to GDP ratio. Now, for an economy that is possibly going to grow at a nominal rate of, say, 10% per annum, if the profit share in GDP even goes back to its long-term average, which is at about 3.5% of GDP over the next few years, it gives us a significant headroom for earnings growth over the next few years. Also, what we have seen is that Indian companies have used this COVID period to deleverage their balance sheet, bring down debt, and therefore there has been an improvement in terms of cash flows as well. The third aspect is the capex cycle, which appears to be turning. There are multiple sources of capex, for example, energy transition, climate change, the PLI scheme, infrastructure, real estate, to name a few. Corporates are really sitting on improved cash because profitability has picked up in the post-pandemic period. And they are really looking to invest in order to capture some of these available opportunities. And this is something that we believe will unfold over the next few years. Now, in the near term, however, while corporate fundamentals and the macro metrics are pointing towards improvement, liquidity and sentiment indicators are possibly a little bit more neutral in terms of their outlook. Now, as we all know that the festive season saw tremendous demand and the high frequency economic indicators remain strong. On the other hand, if you look at valuations, some metrics are suggesting near-term consolidation. On a standalone basis, if you look at India's valuation, say on a price to earnings, price to book, EV/EBITDA, valuations are at the upper end of the band. On the relative basis too, the outperformance of India to emerging markets has resulted in India's premium being close to all-time high. Now, in terms of sentiment, COVID remains the unknown variable. For India, we have seen a sharp improvement in pace of vaccination, and the number of daily case addition remains low for now. However, as you all have been reading, there is an emergence of a new variant, and that has led to fears of another wave, like in the case when the Delta variant was found. How this wave will turn out and what will be the transmissibility, virulence of this new variant, we will know only over the next few days, and therefore there is some degree of uncertainty. Thus, what we are saying is that we remain structurally positive on equity markets, but over the long term. Near term, we believe that in terms of asset allocation, one should be neutral in terms of their equity in their overall asset allocation bucket. In the near term, we are also marginally overweight large caps and marginally underweight mid and small caps. We believe that this continues to be a stock pickers market, and bottom up portfolio building is our strategy. In the medium to long term, however, we believe that positives outweigh some of the risks for those who are willing to take a longer term view. Now, some of the other factors that we continue to watch and monitor include the US interest rate cycle, the oil price movement, the domestic rate cycle and inflation in India, the dollar movement, and also the election cycle, specifically the state election cycle in India next year. Now, with this backdrop, we do believe that there are some key themes to look at for the next few months. One, we do believe that the domestic macro climate improving means that cyclicals should likely do well. So sectors such as capital goods, cement, infrastructure, banks, etc. We have discussed earlier about the domestic capex cycle turning, and therefore this is a segment that we are positive on. We do expect to see revival of manufacturing and the investment cycle in the medium term, and some of the early signs are already visible in terms of household and public capex. The second key theme that we are looking at is digital adoption. And this was something that was accelerated because of COVID, but we do believe that digital adoption is here to stay, and companies that are early adopters of digital technology would have the first mover advantage. The third key theme is possibly the residential property cycle in real estate. Now, real estate as a sector has gone through its ups and downs. However, of late, we have started seeing signs of improvement. This is on the back of low interest rates, better affordability, as well as policy, which is supportive of the sector. The fourth key theme is financials. We believe that credit cycles should improve along with improvement in the macro. And in this, we believe that private sector banks, especially the large ones, are very well placed to continue their market share gains in loans and deposits. These banks are well capitalized. They carry excess or contingency provisioning and are trading at fairly reasonable valuations. And finally, as a theme, we are also trying to identify opportunities and ideas around the clean energy spend. Overall, our advice to all equity market participants is to look at markets and equity markets as a long-term investment option. So therefore, be a long-term investor rather than just a trader. Don't try and time the market is our advice, rather give time to the market. The other important aspect of investing is asset allocation. Please don't invest by just looking at past performance of an asset class, but continue on a disciplined path in a systematic manner. The key is to focus on asset allocation based on time horizon, risk profile, age, and investment needs and purpose. With this, I conclude our monthly outlook. Happy investing. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.